And welcome, folks, to Champions for Life. I'm your host, Ken Wilson. Just so delighted to be in the studio with you today. Shout out to KKVV, who's simulcasting this broadcast over the airwaves. KKVV, the light of Las Vegas, whom we absolutely love. And just so delighted to be in the studio with you today. I have a special guest. This is Mr. Mark Gilmour. Mark, welcome to the broadcast.
Welcome. Thank you.
And Mark is a Nevada State Knights of Columbus, folks. Nevada State Knight Life Co-Director. And so, you probably can't see it right now, but beneath this table is weaponry. There's a sword. No, there's no sword. But we're going to be talking with Mark today about what the Knights are doing, how they've been a blessing to First Choice, and how they're going to be assisting us in the fight for life in Las Vegas and in the state of Nevada. But before we get to that, we'll talk about our guest last week real quick. If you missed it, Pastor Darrell Porter of the Ichthus Institute, going to be our keynote speaker at the 40 Days for Life kickoff rally, which will be this Sunday in just 3 days, right? And that's going to be at 2 p.m. at Trinity Life Center. We're going to talk about that. But Pastor Darrell Porter, awesome guy. Love to have him every year. And, of course, Yadasha Jones of Moms for Liberty. Now, for all you ladies out there and families that have kids in school, in our public school system, listen, Yadasha is fighting for you. She's fighting for you and is asking for your help in bringing a little more righteous and clarity and sanity to our public school system. You know, for example, ridding pornography from our public library, from the school libraries, not just the public, from the school libraries, and keeping boys out of the girls' locker rooms, which is a problem here in the state of Nevada. So listen, Yadasha Jones, Moms for Liberty, if you want to visit her website, it's momsforlibertynv.org, and you can get more information about that, and or just listen to the broadcast from last week. Just awesome.
Come hear Darrell Porter. I mean, you'll never forget it.
Oh, you will not. Darrell Porter, well, yeah, and Darrell was a little more sublime on the broadcast last week. But let me tell you something. When he gets out there and he's got a message, he is on fire.
He's turned loose.
He is turned loose, and just love his heart, man. Just solid gold. And so that's going to be coming up. In fact, I guess we can get to it right away. Our 40 Days for Life campaign is going to be starting not just here in the state of Nevada, in Las Vegas, but throughout the entire world. It's going to begin, our campaign, our 40 Days of Prayer, is going to begin on the 18th of this month, which is a Wednesday. But our kickoff rally is the 15th, a few days before, this Sunday at 2 p.m. at Trinity Life Center, 1000 East St. Louis Avenue in the back parking lot. And we got great speakers. We got Pastor Darrell Porter. We've got First Choice Pregnancy Services is going to be there giving you all kinds of information about what this clinic is about. We're going to be hearing from Nevada Right to Life. Is Maite Sandoval. Now, Maite is also on the national side of Nevada Right to Life, but lives here in Las Vegas. So she's working hand in hand with Melissa Clement and doing marvelous things here in our state. And we're going to be having her as a speaker. And of course, we couldn't do anything without Mrs. Pro-Life, Kathleen Miller of Living Grace Homes, whom I just adore the lady.
One of my best friends.
She's wonderful. If you're doing anything in a state that even touches life, you want Kathleen to be involved. She's going to be one of our speakers there. Choose Life 2026, Anthony Ledon's going to be there. He's going to be talking about some get out the vote efforts that they're going to be using and strategies to turn question 6. In other words, to defeat it in just, 9.5 months? We're going to be voting.
Got to do it.
And it has to happen. So that's going to be important. And, of course, Moms for Liberty, Yadasha Jones is going to be there. You're going to get to meet her in person. And it's going to be awesome. And we're going to have other folks there, too, from different ministries. But we're going to jam all of this into 1 hour. 1 hour, folks. And it's going to be this Sunday, 2 p.m., Trinity Life Center, 1000 East St. Louis. You want to attend. It doesn't cost a thing. For those who want to participate in 40 Days for Life, maybe you need placards, maybe you need umbrellas, maybe whatever it is that you need. Maybe you need some flyers or information that you can give potentially to a young lady or family that's going into the abortion facility where we'll be praying. We'll have all of that there for you. Some things cost a few dollars, but I promise you this, everything that we sell is going to be at cost. We're not intending to make any money off you at all, but we're going to have plenty of materials. But all the flyers, all the posters, lanyards, all that stuff, all that's free. Every bit of it. You take as much as you want that you can use for your church or your congregation. And if you need more and we're out, we'll order it. It's just that simple. So again, this is going to be this Sunday, 2 p.m. at Trinity Life Center, 1000 East St. Louis Avenue. And if you need more information, you can give 40 Days a call. Their number 702-250-2637. That's 250-2637, 40 Days for Life. And some other things that are coming up is on February 19th is going to be the Pastors Apologetics Prayer Breakfast. And this is for you pastors. Listen, we're going to buy you breakfast. It's just that simple. It's going to be an awesome breakfast. It's not going to cost you a dime. But what we're going to do is, after we feed you, is we're going to be talking about amazing things like, how to minister to women who are in your congregation who are facing an unplanned pregnancy, for example. How you support post-abortive women with compassion and healing. And that's very important. I promise you, Pastor, it doesn't matter the size of your congregation. There are women and men that are suffering and hurting in your congregation because they've gone through abortion in their past. Some of them can't forgive themselves. Some are living with guilt. We must find a way to minister to them. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to talk about basic fetal development. We're going to be talking about navigating pro-abortion narratives with grace, rather than being argumentative and judgmental, all that other stuff that doesn't do anything, doesn't do anybody any good. But how we can do that. How can we approach folks in love and then still win the argument? And the big one, mobilizing the church for question 6, for the 2026 Nevada ballot initiative, question 6, which absolutely has to be defeated.
Amen.
And so this breakfast is going to be coming up February 19th. Email events@fcpschampions.org. Events@fcpschampions.org. And say, look, I want to come. Me and my wife want to come, and we'll buy you breakfast. It's good. Bring your associate pastor. Bring whoever it is that you need to help you make this happen. We need you. And okay, on March 20, that's on February 19th. On March 28th, First Choice has their March for Life. So that's coming up. That's the big fundraiser for this clinic. For those of you who are not familiar with First Choice, we are a women's clinic with doctors, nurses, and staff that help women in and during their pregnancy. Right? Some women don't even know if they're pregnant. We'll give, a free pregnancy test. If they're pregnant already and it's needed, we can give them an ultrasound through our sonographers and show the lady the life and how well their child is developing in the womb. And counseling rooms, it's a beautiful facility, but we don't charge any of the clients a dime, not 1 cent. From all the services that we provide here at First Choice. It's all free. So you say, Kenny, well, how do you do that? Well, it's through events like the March for Life. We get you to walk a couple of miles. You go and find a sponsor. Someone will sponsor you $25 a mile, $50, $100 a mile, right? For the 2 miles, then you walk. Then we collect, right? That goes to First Choice and helps us, pay for all the services that we give to these beautiful ladies and families. And you can be a part of it. And the beautiful thing about it is, very nearly at the end of the March, you're going to get a free tour of the facility, including this studio. You'll even take a peek at our studio because we shoot from the clinic, believe it or not. And, you're going to fall in love with the clinic. It's beautiful. It's well-staffed, very professional. And so mark your calendar, folks. It's going to be March 28th, 9 a.m., Trinity Life Center, 1000 East St. Louis Avenue. And the big one, now here's another one, the medical... there's a medical professional meeting, a gathering of medical professionals. And the reason we need you guys, that we're talking about the doctors and the nurses, the anesthesiologists, everybody, we need you because we are prayerfully believing God is going to expand First Choice. We're going to open up another clinic. And we need you. We need you to help staff, to help find, more people that can help us minister to the 1.5 million women that are in our city, and women that are coming in from other states, which is already happening. So this medical professional meeting gathering is going to be right here at First Choice. It's going to be April 16th at 6 p.m. April 16th at the day after tax day, right here at 6 p.m. at First Choice Pregnancy Services, 860 East Sahara. That's 860 East Sahara Avenue. And so you want to be here for that.
And you've had some medical students coming too.
And that'll be awesome. That'll be absolutely awesome.
They can learn about this.
And that's right. And you can find out what the other side is doing, the side that is fighting for sanity and life for these children. So that's all the wonderful things that are happening. And finally, I do want to mention just how busy we are here. Just to give you an idea of what First Choice is doing. In the 20 years that we've been open, what are we up to now? 47,000. We're going to hit 48,000 soon. Children who are alive today because First Choice exists.
Amen.
47 plus thousand. We could easily hit 50,000 this year. 50,000. There are towns that don't even have 5,000 people in them. 50,000. Amazing what God has done.
Beautiful.
And you're going to get to be a part of that and see it when you are in the March for Life or you come to one of our events. It's going to be awesome. I want to take a moment to acknowledge one of the great sponsors that make this portion of the broadcast possible, and that's Dr. Ray Kelly of Kelly Chiropractic. Treats injuries from falls, accidents, motor vehicle crashes, work-related incidents. For those of you who are suffering from allergies, he also has a procedure called acutherapy, going to treat your allergies and ease some of that discomfort. Accepts most forms of insurance. Been in the business over 33 years here in Las Vegas. Give him a call. Set up your appointment. The number is 702-870-9200. By the way, you can take a tour of First Choice, by the way. All you have to do is give them a call. Let them know that you want to come take a tour. Call them because we're always busy. And to prove to you that we are busy, just this past week, from February 4th through the 10th, we did 42 pregnancy tests, all free, and 31 ultrasounds. That's in 6 days. We did all of the 42 ultrasounds, 42 pregnancy tests, and 31 ultrasounds, all free of charge. Didn't ask these ladies for a dime. And that's the beauty. And plus you get, we wrap our loving arms around each and every single patient. I love it here. You will love it too. When you walk in the front doors, you're going to find out exactly what a beautiful facility this is. Mark loves it. Mark loves the place.
I love winning. We're winning.
That's right. And that's what happens. And the babies love it too, for sure. So, all right, folks, without further ado, Mr. Mark Gilmour, who is a knight, folks. He is one of the Knights of Columbus, whom I absolutely love and am envious of. Welcome, sir, to the broadcast.
Thank you.
So you've been a Catholic now what? How long have you been?
My whole life.
Your whole life you've been a Catholic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And how long have you been a knight?
We're in our fourth year.
You're in your fourth year as a knight?
I'm a baby knight.
He's a baby knight, but he's moving up with a bullet. He's moving up with a bullet, and before you know it, he'll be Grand Knight, and you'll see what he'll be the big guy. But you sir, have not always been as active in the pro-life movement as you are now.
No,
right?
I'm going to tell you how God plucked me out of obscurity.
That's what he does. You know what somebody said the other day? Someone said he doesn't call the qualified.
Yeah.
He qualifies
you're
the call.
stealing a quote of mine from my talk. For sure.
Oh, did I read that from your thing? I've heard it before.
I am here I'm going to prove it to you.
Well, share with us how you got to where you are.
Well, briefly, why is this man here? I'm a cradle Catholic, like you said. I retired, moved here 10 years ago with my wife. We've been married over 50 years. I'm a parishioner in this local parish. I'm a retired corporate executive and a corporate attorney, but mostly an executive. And I was a workaholic, and I decided I would keep storing up my treasure in a barn, and someday I'd give it all to God. So when I retired, I felt I really had an overdue bill to be paid because in 2011 I was cured of cancer in my pancreas before I had symptoms, and most people don't have symptoms.
Wow.
So I'm in Chicago. I have one of the best surgeons on the planet, whole team. That's a massive surgery. I'm on my knees the night before because I don't know if I have cancer. And I said, I'm going to have to turn up my faith. Just the Sunday church thing is not enough. But I kept working a couple years, and I didn't do what I said I was going to do. So when I moved here, I decided I better start paying back that debt. So we'll talk a little bit about that. So getting closer to God, I became a lector, which just means we read scripture at the Mass, Catholic Mass. I joined 2 small groups, and I started another weekly men's faith group, and that's been going on for 5 years. And then in 2022, I'll tell you a little bit about how we started the Knights chapter. The Knights are 144 years old, and there are 2.1 million men in the world in the Knights of Columbus.
Wow.
Doing charity work. But I'll tell you more about the journey. So you're probably wondering, what's he know about life issues? So besides being married over 50 years and having 2 children, 2 grandchildren, I want to focus the rest of my talks, not the early part of my life, but from 2022 forward. After I had that big surgery in 2011, I had to have a little tune-up in 2022. And and then I'm going to take you back through this a little bit. So let me jump ahead from in the leader of our new council I just met said, "Hey, we're going to start the Knights." And the first thing I said to him was, "I want to serve on life issues."
Why did you say
that? The
that?
next thing I thought to myself was, why did I just say that? I really do believe God put those words in my mouth. But I think, having been married around the time of Roe v. Wade, it was in the back of my mind. And being a lawyer, I was in law school, talking about that case. So I think the seed was planted, okay? Right. But it was fallow for a long time. And then, Tom, the head who asked me to be in the Knights, and I had no idea what this would mean. But the next 3 months, amazing things happened. I went to that first Imago Dei conference. I held up the shirt and started to learn about this pro-life movement. Just like if you come to the kickoff for 40 days, you'll hear about these different organizations who are working their tails off. Yeah. Saving lives. We have 2 pregnancy centers in this large city. We have 1 maternity home started by Kathleen Miller, who was in my parish, and I'll talk about that too. And I heard at that conference faith reflection, testimonies. People were praying for people who were post-abortive. It was just full of love. And so a month later, a young mom from my church and I decided that we should go pray here across the street from First Choice. And I'm going to jump ahead before I tell you a little bit about what happened in getting ready for that. So we're with this lady, Teresa, and I. There was a First Choice security guard, big guy, and 1 other regular sidewalk witness. And I brought a prayer to the Virgin Mary, and we prayed that prayer and 1 other prayer for about 1 hour. And a car drove by with a black SUV, saw us praying. She was driving real slow past us and went to the end of the street where the abortion center is. And I didn't realize what she was doing at that moment. I had arranged a tour. So I came to do a tour, and I'm in Deborah Costello, the director's office, and they get a phone call that she had stopped, said to the 2 men, the security guard and the other man, that because she saw 4 people praying at 9 a.m. on a Friday that she was going to save her baby, and she gave her name. Her name was Dina. Yes. And I pray for that lady and her baby every day. I hope she's stuck with that decision. I have a feeling, when you say you're going to do something to strangers, it's more like you're going to do it. Like, I'm going to lose weight. If you say it to yourself, maybe you don't. But if you tell your family you're going to lose weight, maybe you do, right? Right. So that was a big start. And so we found that out. And I want to talk about what led up to us doing this. So about 3-4 days before we prayed, I had a dream that I should go do this. I mean, a very vivid dream, like the angel was literally talking to me, and I really wasn't sleeping. I was getting a lecture. So I told my wife the next morning about this dream, and she says, "That's really funny, honey. You haven't remembered a dream in 50 years. And I'm like, well, this one was different. So I kept praying about it. The next night, other people showed up in my dream. The accuser, the devil. And this is just like you hear what the devil does. You're no good. Who the heck do you think you are? You're going to get hurt. This is not going to go well. You should stay home and be safe. And, I'm literally sweating, chills. That was like not just a dream. It was an experience, like a workout at the gym. I tell my wife that dream. She says, "Now you're remembering 2 dreams in a row." So I prayed that whole day that we should do this, and I just was not going to give up. My dad was in World War II, and I just thought to myself, those men after World War II told each other what they did during the war, not in detail, but you knew if they served or they didn't. And I had decided I'm going to serve. So the next night, believe it or not, the angels showed up again in my dream.
3 nights in a row.
3 nights in a row. Good, bad, and good. And so Teresa, it was a young mother, and I went and prayed, and that's how this happened. And so I think we all need to know that there are going to be times when we doubt whether we have the ability or the heart to do what we're doing. But boy, once you step out and do something, it makes a huge difference. So that's how I persevered through that. And what I learned is by working and visiting First Choice and visiting Women's Resource, which is now All Life, and reading about this. And as a lawyer, I read about the court cases, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Abortion stops one heart and breaks another. And we not only saved that woman and her baby, at least I believe we did, something else happened. I came out of that tour and getting that news, and I'm on the street, and I'm talking to one of the ladies who runs the 40 Days at that time, Finley, and she said, "You're not going to believe what else happened." And I said, "What do you mean something else happened?" She said, "The security guard, after we prayed and they got that report, he broke down crying, this big dude, and he said, 'My wife and I had an abortion. We got divorced. I was in the Knights of Columbus. I'm going back to church.'"
Whoa.
So count the number of people we saved. Maybe him, his new family. You talk about 1 hour of prayer paying dividends. I can see why the devil didn't want me to do that.
Obviously, and that was your first time
first time
stepping out.
ever.
Wow, that's just amazing.
So we're now 3 years into this now, and this is why I'm keep going. You can't stop after you're tapped on the shoulder.
Yes, exactly right. You'll find that out. Otherwise, if the Lord tells you to do something or calls you to do something, and you fight him on it, and the Lord will send a whale.
Yeah. So
you will go and do it.
So, God doesn't give you an itinerary. I'm gonna go back a little further on looking back on since 2022. So when I moved to Vegas, I didn't know anybody, and I got in this mixed prayer group of Catholics and non-Catholics, and I'm still in this group. And one of the men who is a lapsed Catholic, a man who left the Catholic Church, he said, "We men, we've got to pick a personal Bible verse." And as a lawyer, I'm studying the Bible, looking for a verse, and this one verse spoke to me, and I hope it speaks to all of you. It's Matthew 5:14. I'm going to paraphrase. "You are the light of the world. Just so your light must shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your heavenly Father." This is the verse that says, don't put your light under a bushel basket. Put it up on a lampstand. So that's my personal verse before I get in the nights, before I have those dreams. So that little flicker was planted in my heart, and I'm trying to live it out by now doing podcasts. So that verse calls me now. I've 3 years of learning. I worked 2 years ago on question 6. I work with Nevada Right to Life. Almost every week I'm in touch with them. There's a lot I could teach you, but we're not here to lecture you, but we're here to inform you and appeal to your heart. And I'll go through some of these things. I want to cover how we need to help the pregnancy centers, how we need to help the maternity home, fund the expansion for First Choice,
Yes.
help fund an expansion at Living Grace Homes, the maternity
Yes.
home. And so by joining the Knights, I learned for the last 2 years, the Knights have 10 programs on their national website. So all Knights councils, not every parish has a council. It's up to the pastor or men to go appeal to the pastor like ours did. And we had changed pastors, and our priest said yes. And he had never been around the Knights. He just said yes. He didn't know what he was getting into either. But so you can't expect every Catholic church to have these. But we have thousands of men in the state who are in the Knights. And I learned we have to learn and teach the men about these national programs. I mean, people have heard about Habitat for Humanity. Mm-hmm. And if you go do it, then you learn how to do it. So the Knights have programs for life. And I'm just going to mention pregnancy center support is one of them. Maternity home support is another. Mm-hmm. The March for Life here is what we've done. Many Knights march from First Choice in that march. I did it my first time before we saved the baby, and I think my wife we got a picture in the National Knights magazine. Mm-hmm. There's me with my sign, Knights for Life, and she said, "Oh, yeah, great! Now you're a protester." Ultrasounds. The Knights have funded 2,000 ultrasounds in the United States.
Wow. Listen, these ultrasound machines are not cheap. They're roughly
50K.
Yeah, they can go 50 all the way up to 100,000 because some of them do 4D, which is time video type stuff. Yeah. And these are not cheap machines, and you guys have put 2,000 of them.
2,000 in the United States.
And
I think it's in the last 10 years. I'm not positive, but it's just a new initiative. So when local councils raise money, wow. If we raise half of the cost, the National Knights match the other half. Wow. So if we raise 25, and so one of our Knights council here in Vegas said they've got 25K for the first ultrasound that First Choice will need at a new location, and the National Knights will match that. So we got one machine paid for, basically.
Thank you, Lord. Wow. That's just amazing.
Just with one phone call.
Wow.
They call me because they know that I'm in this role with the Knights in this Southern Nevada. Special Olympics is one of our things. Life is not just the birth, but also during life, there are challenges. Mm-hmm. So Special Olympics, masses for people with special needs, Christian refugee relief, these are all programs. The global wheelchair, our council did a wheelchair. Jerry Lewis's son has a company that makes these sturdy, beautiful wheelchairs and sells them at cost. The Knights buy them, and we raise money, and then they go all around the world. Wow. These wheelchairs. So I gave this menu. I'll hold it up. I've made this into one menu so they don't have to go to a website. Okay. I'm calling the councils here in the state. And we're telling them there's some other things we can do that aren't in the national program, but they're kind of there. Legislative advocacy.
Oh, yeah.
The Catholic Church appeals to us to write our legislators when there's something that they are objecting to, like assisted suicide, and that's another one. Yep. It's birth to death. And we worked the legislative session in last year, and with the help of Nevada Right to Life and doctors, yep. We killed 14 out of 17 bills that were targeting pregnancy centers. Yep. Yes. Trying to tell, you can't do the abortion pill reversal pill, which is completely safe. Oh, boy. And many people don't know about it. Yeah. So I'll talk about some conferences that have come. We're trying to educate people about the things that are saving lives, saving women from post-abortive regret. The nights we also pray at Rachel's Vineyard when they do a retreat at a hotel for post-abortive women. Some women have this triggered 20, 30 years after. Right. And so we pray for them. And we have a woman in our parish who's looking for a kidney, and I said, why don't we have organ donation as one of our life things? And we don't have that, but this woman needs a kidney because her family is disqualified because they have a genetic defect. So no one in her family is eligible. And so you talk about and then I'm learning a little bit about this, just learned about this in December. You have to put your name on all these different lists. There's a Nevada list. There's a Mayo Clinic list. There are other lists. Right. So I'm hoping the whole pro-life movement will know about Margaret Pryor, and she needs it, and she's created her own website. So the Knights are listening to what people's needs are, and hopefully this menu will grow as we take on new causes while we're fighting the ones we're still fighting.
This is just awesome. And I'm speaking with Mark Gilmour, who is, not only is he a knight of the Knights of Columbus, but he's also a co-director. He's a life co-director out there at St. Thomas More Catholic Church. And let me ask you this, Mark. If, say, for example, a guy's going to church, he's Catholic, mm-hmm. and he says, you know what, I need to get around some more manly men. Mm-hmm. Manly men that's going to, mm-hmm. build my faith and make an impact on our community. How can they? Does their parish need to have a knights, or can they join another knight if their parish doesn't have one?
They can join another church that has the Knights Council.
Okay.
There's a little paperwork with that, but it's not. When we did not have a Knights Council, until 4 years ago, some of the men were at St. Viator and some of the other parishes. But just in the 4 years, we have 100 men in our Knights Council in one church.
You did this in 1 year?
And no, over the 4 years.
Oh, the 4 years, okay.
I'd say within 2 years, we had almost 100.
Wow.
And about 30 are really active. And they're doing things and doing some of these things. And then I speak at each of our once a month meetings about what's going on with life. And they want to know.
Right.
And I had one young man in one of our small prayer groups say to me, I think my girlfriend when I was in college had an abortion, but she never spoke to me. He has abortion regret without knowing.
Wow.
He was involved, but he was not involved because he wasn't asked to be involved. So I want to just appeal to the women, young ladies, if you're like me with that dark dream thinking, this is not going to go well and I can't have this child, it's a personal decision, but you are not doing it alone. God is with you and God is in you. And once you recognize that, even somebody like me can pray at an abortion center on the street and save a life. You can save your own baby's life. I really believe that the men need to be spoken to. Even if you doubt the ability or heart of the man that is involved in this situation, give that man a chance. Because how many times we know statistically the women are having abortions because they feel like they don't have the resources and they don't have someone there to help them, protect them, drive them to appointments. And if you don't ask the men, you've cut out one very logical, possible way to have a better life. Yeah. And I just pray that, this one body, my choice, my body, my choice is wrong.
Yeah.
It is wrong. And so the men have really been interested in this. So we're starting to have lunch meetings. We did one last year. I don't know if we have that graphic, but the Knights have this beautiful picture of a baby on the man's shoulder. Okay. And I think just like the women their hearts are changed when they see an ultrasound, I think the men's hearts can be changed if they saw that picture.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
We are called to be defenders of our family. Mm-hmm. We're here to be there to take out the trash. We're there to do the things that are distasteful for the women and help protect them. And if you don't ask the men, and I know a lot of these men are young, they're not mature yet. If they're 16, 17, 18, they have a long way to go. Don't give up on them. Yeah. So the men in the Knights Council, we are now starting to, it's not just retired men or in their 50s. We've had 2 recent inductions, 7 men each. And this last time, 2 of the men were under 30.
Wow.
We're working to appeal to men because we do faith formation now in the National Nights. More men joined the Knights of the Columbus this last year than any time since World War I, when all the men came home from the war.
Wow. Wow. Say that again.
More men joined the Knights of Columbus in the United States last year than any time since World War I.
What? That's 1917.
And back then,
Wow.
men joined things. They came out of the war, and I'm hoping that more of the military and other people who are changing their lives, like that guard on the street, would go back to being in the Knights, or at least go to a Knights meeting. You don't have to be a member to be in a meeting. You can see what men are doing. We hold each other accountable. Right. If they say, "Hey, I'm going to do pro-life," if they don't sign up and do something with me for a couple months, I'm saying, "Where are you? Where you been? Right. You told me you're gonna come pray at an abortion center, and you haven't come yet." This is the kind of
That's right. And you don't want to tell a Knight you're going to do something and you don't do it. So, all right. In the time remaining with us, we want to take a break. We're going to acknowledge one of our sponsors, and we will be right back. I want to take a moment to acknowledge one of the great sponsors that make this portion of the broadcast possible, and that's RTS Postal Express. Listen, for all your printing needs, doesn't matter whether it's black and white, color copies, whatever it is, you want to give Angelo a call. They do every type of printing you can imagine, from printing on coffee cups and thermoses to T-shirts, but they also do the standard stuff like resumes and just any type of printing that you could possibly need onto billboards or signs. They even do signage for businesses. For example, if you're designing a large sign for your business, they can do that as well. Give RTS a call. Talk to my man Angelo. RTS stands for Really Terrific Service, and their number 702-489-4859, RTS Postal Express, one of the proud sponsors of the Champions for Life broadcast. And welcome back, folks. And I'm talking with Mark Gilmour of the Thomas More Knights. He is a Nevada State Knight Life Co-Director. And he's moving up with a bullet. And he's, they're going to give him, in the Marines, they call it a Marmaluke. Mm-hmm. I don't know what they call it in there. The swords probably have a name in the Knights, whatever the name is. And one day,
saber. I don't know.
It's just some type of saber. It's going to be long. It's going to be pointy
and sharp.
And it's going to be sharp. And so if you're in the Knights and misbehaving, Mark's going to call and straighten you out. But I want to mention something else about 40 Days for Life, because it's coming up. Again, our kickoff rally is going to be this Sunday, February 15th, 2 p.m. at Trinity Life Center, 1000 East St. Louis, in the back parking lot. Going to have a ton of great speakers from Nevada Right to Life, First Choice Pregnancy, Choose Life 2026, Living Grace Homes. I mean, it's just going to be fabulous, all the speakers. Plus, I'll be speaking as well. You get to meet me. And we're just going to kick off the 40 Days campaign of 40 Days of Prayer. But I want to mention, for those of you who are not familiar with 40 Days for Life, we talked about, his wife was joking a little earlier that, you've turned into a protester. But the 40 Days for Life, to be completely honest, is not a protest. And I want you to understand this. There are those that do protests. That's not what 40 Days for Life is about. No. Our focus is prayer. Our focus is prayer. The point is that you are there.
Peaceful prayer.
It doesn't matter whether you're carrying a placard or have information on you or not. It doesn't matter. The purpose that you are standing in front of that abortion facility or near it, where we will be, is just simply to pray. God can use you and your prayers without any evidence of you being who you say you are.
Just like he used mine.
Just like he used Mark's, right? And this has happened over and over and over again. My poor sister in Canada, if you try and stand in front of an abortion clinic silently praying to yourself, you will be arrested. That's crazy. So they know, the enemy knows exactly what you're doing. But I often tell folks, if you want to come and pray during 40 days, but you don't feel you have the unction to go and stand literally on a sidewalk and pray with whoever or those folks, listen, go to the site itself and just stay in your car and pray. Mm-hmm. And the reason why this is effective is very similar. For example, if you have a sick loved one in the hospital, right? Can you pray from home? Absolutely. You're called to. You want to pray for her healing, right? But how much more effective and fervent is your prayer when you visit your sick loved one in the hospital and you lay hands on that person and you pray for them, or you anoint them with oil or holy water and you pray for them, right? That there's when you bring your prayers to the site, to the point of where that prayer is needed, it's a whole nother dynamic. And that's what we're doing at 40 days. That's why we've seen hundreds of abortion facilities close. That's why we've seen abortion clinic workers and staff and doctors walk out of this grisly business, never to return. It's because people like you and me go and pray at these 40 Days for Life campaigns. That's how Abby Johnson used to be the director of Planned Parenthood, right, in College Station, Texas, one of the biggest Planned Parenthoods in the nation, was honored as Employee of the Year, right, at a Planned Parenthood. But you know what? Those 40 Days for Life folks just kept praying and praying and praying. And eventually Abby said, you know what? I can't take it anymore. I don't belong here. And went and joined the 40 Days for Life campaign. Quit her job.
One of those people praying for her became her priest.
Yeah, I didn't know that. How awesome is that? So listen, join 40 Days for Life. Again, our kickoff rally is going to be coming up this Sunday, February 15th. It's a Sunday, 2 p.m. So after your church service, after you have lunch, come and see us at 1000 East St. Louis Avenue. You're going to have great speakers. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a wonderful time. And we'll give you everything that you need to have, and you'll get to talk with all of us and meet all of us and find out how God can use you in the pro-life movement, because there's going to be everybody there. And it's going to be for 1 hour, going to be jam-packed, and we'll just love to see. If you need more information, you can do it two ways. One, you can give us a call. Our number, 702-250-2637. That's 250-2637. Say, I need more information. Or you can log into our website, 40daysforlife.com, 40daysforlife.com/Las Vegas, and register yourself up. All the resources are there. You know, if you're really advocating this, if the Lord's really laying this on your heart, you can print out the flyers. All the flyers are there. The kickoff rally flyers, our spring campaign flyer, the statements of peace, our vigil location where we're going to be, where you will be standing, where you can park. All of that is on the website, 40daysforlife.com/Las Vegas. Register, sign our statement of peace. Statement of peace is simple. Just says you're going to act in a Christ-like manner. That's basically all that means. And then join us and begin to pray and make a difference. And print out some flyers, give it to your pastor, and we'll come and speak at whatever your event is, during the 40 days. From now until the end of our campaign, we'll come and, talk about 40 days and get your church involved. Some churches, you know what they're doing? Some churches say, you know what, Kenny, we love what we're doing. We're going to take one of the days during the 40 days of prayer. We're going to make that day our own. We're going to pray from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. because that's what 40 days does, prays for 12 hours, right? And we're going to have people at every hour praying before they open and even after they close, right? That abortion facility. And we love the churches that do that. Our goal is to have a church adopt a day for every day of the 40 days. And then we're covered, they're covered in prayer. And how awesome is that? So again, if you'd like more information, 40daysforlife.com, or give us a call, 702-250-2637. And we'll see you at the 40 Days for Life kickoff campaign.
Even if you come alone, bring yourself and a friend.
Yeah,
just two people.
I tell you what.
And then go back to your church and tell them all about it.
And tell them all about it, absolutely. Okay, in the time remaining, we must hit question 6. This is a big one. Mark, what do we need to know?
All right, so in Nevada, our law allows abortion up to 6 months for any reason. And only a vote of the people can change that. And people were confused with the wording of this referendum. It was called the Reproductive Freedom Amendment. Mm-hmm. Don't believe the titles of any law, because a lot of times it's the opposite. The wording was confusing. We know many people voted the wrong way, intending to vote no. We want to vote no on question 6. If you vote no on 6, abortion will still be allowed in this state. And our church, brilliant theologists say it's okay to fight the political battle that you're given at this time. You should not stay home because, they're not going to eliminate abortion, so I'm not going to vote. That's the
no, it's bad
wrong
thinking.
approach.
Yeah, wrong
You
thinking.
want to do what we can with the fight that's in front of us.
Yeah.
So I've been watching what other states have done with this very similar wording. And I tell people what's going to happen, and they don't believe me. Okay? We know that if this abortion amendment passes, abortion would be legalized through the 9th month.
Yep.
You could have a born-alive baby, and they'd still be legally entitled to kill the baby because I decided I don't want it. We now have a requirement in our law that in the 3rd trimester, you have to have a licensed doctor and a hospital.
Right.
The amendment actually says the state cannot unreasonably interfere with the constitutional right of a woman to have an abortion. And so maybe safety regulations are too onerous. And therefore, let's just get rid of that. And there's a direct quotation. They say any healthcare practitioner, a defined term in the statute that exists today, can do an abortion. And that actually lists a long list of people: chiropractors, nail salons. And basically what it really means is the abortionist, the one who is providing what they call health care, by definition will be licensed to do the abortion. It could be anybody. And if they're not trained and they don't know about what's going on with the baby, what do you think's going to happen? They want that baby.
It's incredible.
It is incredible. The regulation of clinics. So in the legislature last year, they tried to eliminate the abortion pill reversal pill because they say it's dangerous. And they will try anything to restrict or hamper. They even, in other states, have tried to demand pregnancy centers, faithful pregnancy centers, Christ-like pregnancy centers, will have to refer women where they can get an abortion when they come in for the ultrasound, which is against their personal beliefs. It's against the Constitution of the United States, okay? And there are people fighting this. But some states, like Massachusetts, were all over this. And so then think of the resources that are spent by pregnancy centers having to fight this.
Yeah.
So women deserve better. This amendment is dangerous, that healthcare practitioner definition. Most people want limits on abortion. The Knights of Columbus do a national survey, statistical, and most women want, most all people, adults, want some restrictions on abortion. So even if you're, quote, pro-choice, you don't want to allow abortion in the 7th and 8th and 9th month.
Yeah.
So most people should agree this is extreme. These healthcare practitioner definitions dangerous. Women deserve better about the state's ability to regulate clinics. Now also, Nevada Right to Life, until last year, we had a law 40 years ago in this state that was passed that said if a minor is going to have an abortion, that one parent had to be notified.
Not consent.
Not consent, notified. Think about, and I've heard testimony at the Imago Dei conference from a woman who's not, when she was 15, she was embarrassed to tell her parents. She went into a Planned Parenthood clinic thinking she was going to be told options by the caring adults in that facility, and she got railroaded right into her abortion.
Wow.
15-year-olds don't know how to ask questions and figure out whether this is right or wrong. And so it's really, this notification law was immediately, Planned Parenthood filed suit. This is 40 years ago. So Nevada passes a good law, notification, one parent for minors. They get an injunction, and that injunction stood for 40 years. And then Nevada Right to Life realized it was based on Roe v. Wade. And with the Dobbs decision in 2022, they filed suit to get that overturned. And after 4 courts, if I have it right, they succeeded. So this law is now in effect since last fall.
Right, the parental notification law. So
Parental notification law. So doctors must notify one parent not get consent.
Yeah, if your 13, 14-year-old now tries to go get an abortion, you're required by law, finally, and
I've heard
to be notified. And question 6 is going to eradicate that.
Yeah, exactly. And I've heard that, in a school, a kid can't even get an aspirin without parents' consent.
That's right.
But they can get an abortion by just notification. Hey, your kid's going to have an aspirin today. It's amazing. So it's really wrong. And predators are going to take advantage of this.
Well, of course.
Because, if somebody has been abused, Planned Parenthood and others legally are supposed to report child abuse, but they don't report it. Do you think we're going to have reporting laws? That'll be too much of a limitation. So this is not just Nevada. This is happening in other states, and we've seen this happening. This is like a football playbook that's moving around the country. So what are we doing to stop this? So we've learned a bit, and there is a movement of churches in Las Vegas first, but this will be in the whole state. We call it the Imago Dei movement, a Latin word for image of God, because we believe children are born we're all born in the image and likeness of God. And so children are a gift, and we want to stop this. But the churches realized and the pastors realized they're all in their own world and silo. They're busy taking care of their own business. And pastors were a little afraid to speak up, including my own church. And so whether it's political or whether it's tax rules or whatever, but they're now meeting and having breakfast together, the pastors in this valley. They've let me be among them, which is pretty funny. A great group, and they're now giving each other moral support to be more vocal, to be more active. And they're starting to hear from some pastors who've been doing it a little longer, like Calvary Red Rock and Summerlin, that the people want to know more. They want to know how they can help. And the young generation, the Gen Z, a third of that generation is gone because of abortion. They know this, and this is hitting them. And they're now on the March for Life in D.C. The young people are all over this issue. And if they want to grow their churches, they're going to need young people to be in the pews.
Absolutely.
So this Imago Dei movement, there is a website, imagodeimovement.org, and it'll populate with the purpose and what we're doing. We're having a calendar, which includes some of the first choice events are on there. The nights will start to populate on our website and our calendars where men can do things. So if we're going to do a tour of first choice, we want Imago Dei imagodeimovement.org to have that on the website. Just step out of your house, go to one of these things, dip your toe in the water like I did, and you never know what God's going to do next.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I believe we're going to win. We need to change 400,000 votes in this state. And let's face it, almost all of them are in Clark County. So you can help. Like last year, 2 years ago, our church, we did Catholic Vote send us postcards, and we wrote personal postcards. They were pre-addressed to voters in the state, and we wrote our own personal message. And some of us wrote "Vote No on 6." Mm-hmm. Some of us just wrote "Please vote." This is a individual activity of one person. You're doing your own thing. Right. You don't need your church to approve it, but we paid for pizza. And advocacy, when we write into the legislature, and we don't want you doing this bill, there's a ticker that counts how many people. And the legislators are watching. And the pro-life movement in this state is alive. And they started to see hundreds and thousands of people saying no on that bill, no on that bill. That's how 14 out of 17 bills were killed in the committee.
That's right.
And the governor vetoed 2 others.
Yep, that's right.
So pray for our governor, pray for the legislators for their courage, and pray for the support of all the people working on this. But we need more arms and legs.
We need you, and it's just that simple. And if people want to get involved, again, one way you can do it is the imagodeimovement.org. That's IMAGODEI movement.org. Sign up, get involved, attend any of the events that are there. But the big thing is going to be question 6. We want you to vote no on question 6 because, again, no parental notification. There's no medical oversight. You have 9 month abortions? Do we really want people from other states coming into our state to have abortions? It's already happening. It'll only be amplified if we let this continue. So question 6, we need your help. We need more soldiers for life. And if you want to be a part of this, you can either attend the 40 Days Kickoff, get involved there this coming Sunday, 2 p.m. at Trinity Life Center, or you can log into imagodaymovement.org and sign up and get involved there. Well, listen, Mark, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you today.
Thank you. I've enjoyed it.
Mark Gilmour.
Thank you for all you do.
Ken. Thank you very much. Mark Gilmour, of course, Nevada State Night Life co-director out there at St. Thomas More Catholic Church. And be a part and listen. If you have any questions about anything that you've heard today, you can give First Choice a call. Our number 702-294-CARE. And remember, you can be a champion for life.